Hey guys, welcome back to the Untamed Social Podcast. My name is Tara Kay,
And I'm Ella Gunnell.
and today we are going to be talking about an Instagram 101, the 5 ways to set yourself up for success. So, Instagram, it can be kind of tough navigating the app, as y'all know if you watched the podcast with Lady and me. I am totally an Instagram girly. As much as I love it though, it still can get really complicated and overwhelming, and just trying to figure out like what all you need to do because there are so many features, so many things that you can do. So before trying to create a strategy, we just want to go over kind of like what the like 5 basics are to make sure that you have set in place if you're either starting a new Instagram account or if you just want to elevate your strategy. So we're going to get to that. So, Ella, do you want to start off with our first one?
Yeah, so like TK said, we're just going to go over some basics today, some things that you can do to kind of get yourself off the ground and running. Like, make sure you have these things set in place. And the first thing that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough, but I want to talk about is your username. And you might not think that your username is important, but it actually is. When someone goes to search for your account or something within your niche or your area of expertise, you want to give yourself the best possible chance of coming up. And so that actually starts with your username. So, first things first with username, you want it to be recognizable, like you want it to easily be tied to who you are, either your name or your brand name. You want it to not be too long because that's just too much and people won't remember it. And then last but not least, you want it to contain keywords. And this is something we're going to talk about in a couple of these other sections, but Instagram and social media these days is all about SEO. And so you are going to try to optimize it as much as you can so that way you can come up when people are searching for things related to who you are, your brand, your business, anything like that. So what do I mean by that? An example that I like to talk about is one of our clients came to us. They are a cabinetry, like home renovation company. I'm not going to say their name, but they came to us with the username, the initials of their business, CC, and then more initials of the state that they were located in. So basically, their username was just a bunch of letters. And they thought, oh, that's good. That's, the initials of our business and then the state where we're located. That's great. And while it might seem like it's great, we actually took their username and optimized it to be better. So we had their name, and then at the end, we put at the end of their username is custom cabinetry. So now when people go in to search for custom cabinetry, their name is more likely to pop up, or when people go to look for them directly, their name is going to pop up.
Hmm.
So again, it needs to be
Yeah.
recognizable, not too long, and then some kind of keyword relating to your realm of business, especially if you're a smaller business. Obviously, if you're like a big company like Microsoft or like anything else and you have that brand recognition, you don't need a keyword, but I'd say especially if you're starting off, like wedding photography or event planning, something along those lines was going to help you tremendously.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember like even Rachel when she started her business, at first she had something like Central PA Webster or whatever, and then shortly after I realized that she needed to make it branded so it was more obvious what like Strella's social media is. So yeah, that's a great point. Second thing that's super, super important on Instagram is optimizing your biography. Um, and that's kind of like an extension of what your username really is and what it stands for. That's where
Mm-hmm.
you can put what your industry is, the name of your company, a link to your website or to your link tree, and your description. And again, like that's all also like SEO purposes, like that will like you want people to find you. If people don't know who you are, they're not going to know to search your name. But if they are searching something like custom cabinetry and that's in your bio, then that's way more likely to come up. So you're basically just
Yeah.
giving customers an idea, or potential customers and viewers an idea of who you are, but you're also telling the app who you are, like
Yeah, the algorithm.
the algorithm, right? You want Instagram to know who you are and where to put you and what kind of audience that they should serve you in front of. So that one, yeah, it's definitely like one of the top two things that you should do to optimize your account.
Yeah. And I think I want to stress too, like the reason why it's so important, and this is just my opinion as a social media manager, what I have come to find is that the Instagram algorithm is not very good at recognizing things. Like, for example, the TikTok algorithm, not to
Mhm.
pit the two against each other, but
It's
if
okay,
you
we already did it on the podcast.
even if you just like talk about something, like somehow the algorithm is able to like pick up the audio and
Yeah.
even categorize it that way. Like I've
Mhm.
searched for certain like product reviews and the video will be, someone talking about like several products and it picks it up because of the one product that it talks about at one point in the video. And it's not like they were tagged or anything or they use any hashtags. Like the algorithm is just way better at using all of the clues of your
Mhm.
video, your caption, your hashtag, what you're talking about, and categorizing it and showing it to what people are searching for and for people who want to see it. Instagram is really bad at that. And so it's important to give it like all the information you can
Yes.
in any way that you can so that way your
Mhm.
content is more likely to be found.
Yes. Yes. Taking every opportunity to tell Instagram who you are. Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that.
It's unfortunate, but it is how it is.
Right.
Okay, the next thing that we want to talk about is features. So, where to even begin? Because Instagram has so many features. They're always coming out with new features, and it is just so hard to even know like, should I be doing all of these? It can be overwhelming.
Mhm.
Um, like which ones are most important? Does my audience even care? Like, how do
Yeah.
I navigate all of these things that I could be doing? And if I were to do it all, is that even correct?
Right.
So we could dive into all of that in a lot of
I know
it
we
could be
could
a
literally like do an entire
yeah,
podcast just on Instagram features.
could be a
But
whole episode.
yeah, yeah, right, right. But we can let's yeah, we can just pick out a couple here, I guess.
Yeah, so let's just TK, I guess the question is which ones do you feel like actually matter? Like if we could boil it down to like there's 100 features, which like four, three or four should our
Hmm.
audience focus on that is like sure to give them output, meaning like
Yeah.
they're going to use it and it's going to work for them.
Yeah. I think one of those is doing audios and trending sounds, like non-embedded audio, using um, the trending sounds that it will offer you when you're putting out a reel or even when you're putting out like just a carousel. The reason they offer that is because they want you to use it. And so Instagram will push your content out more, but also when you're using that trending audio, like if it's already trending, it's like people are already searching for it and it's going to show up on on other people's feed a
Yep.
lot more, like it will be pushed out a lot more quickly by using those sounds. And then also, this is one that people don't always remember is still really useful, but using carousels. I think like I've had a few clients who they'll want to just do straight reels like all the time because reels always do better. People like
Mm-hmm.
watching videos.
Reels
Uh,
perform.
reels perform, yeah. And it's really tempting to want to just put out the content that you know is going to do the best. But um, but something we talk about having like maintaining your overall health of your account, and that means being a balanced account. And so if you're only
Yeah.
putting out reels, like if you're not taking advantage of this feature that Instagram offers, like that's one of the main ones, putting out still images, feed posts, and carousels. And um, and so when you're putting that out there, first off, Instagram's going to reward you for it. And second, um, you want to cater to your followers, like your loyal followers who are always there. They're going to love your videos, but they're also going to love your carousels. And you always want to make sure to cater to them and to take care of your followers while still acquiring new ones. But once you've acquired them, like you've got to still be there for your followers. So I think that was
Yeah.
another important one.
So true. It's so funny. 'Cause me and TK were just talking about this today about how if you look at your analytics on your specific posts, reels are like 9 times out of 10, your non-followers are going to see it more than your followers. The carousels are usually the opposite. Your
Hmm.
followers are going to have seen it more than non-followers. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's performing badly. I wish that people would understand that. It's not going to get, a million views. It's a carousel.
Yeah.
But there's a reason that Instagram has, not too long ago, they made the option to expand the carousel from like 10 to, isn't it like 20 now? You
I
can do
think
like
it's
20
20.
photos.
Hmm.
You can add text to your carousel. You can add music to your carousel. The fact that Instagram keeps adding features to carousels means that they want you to use it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
go ahead and use it.
Yes. Do it.
Along those same lines, this is kind of going back to videos. If you are not using on-screen text, that is a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And I don't just mean going on to Adobe and slapping some text on your video. That can help. But I'm talking more like using the Instagram app as you're posting the video. Just slap on some text on the screen. Even if you slide it off of the screen and don't want people to see it, just having that there, the algorithm will pick up on that.
Hmm.
Number one. And number two, it helps people to get a sense of what your video is going to be about. So you can't often hook them in the first second or two with what the video starts off with as much as we try. That text is just going to be another indicator to people of what is this video about and am I going to stick around for it? And people decide that in seconds. Like you need to catch their attention fast. So definitely have some on-screen text to help you out with that. Pretty much all of our videos that we put out for clients now, we add some kind of text hook, we call it. So
Hmm.
would definitely recommend doing that.
Yeah. Anything to give your audience information about something to make them want to keep watching is always going to
Yeah.
help. So I love
Yeah.
that you said that.
Even if they don't realize it, right?
Yeah.
Because they're seriously making decisions in the matter of seconds and
Or
they're
less.
not usually reading your caption like right
Hmm.
away. Yeah, or less, right? Sometimes I see a video and I scroll instantly.
Yeah.
So if you can give them a reason to stay or let them help them decide if they want to stay, then that's great. And then along those same lines is captions. Instagram auto generates captions for you. Go ahead and use those. Number one, the algorithm. Again, I will sound like a broken record, but SEO, 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 any information you can give is helpful. And then a lot of people still will watch social media on mute. Like that's just the world we live in. People aren't going to be on social media whether they can hear it or not. And so if you can give people captions so that way they can watch your video even if they can't hear it, then that is also a great tool. So,
Yeah.
I think we mentioned captions on videos, using the text feature, trending audio, and carousels. Do you feel like that's
Yeah.
like a good place to start?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just as like a general, these are the features you should be using. Um, but even kind of going on from there, um, like our fourth point of the top five things that you need to be doing, um, is using stories, which I know is another feature, but like this is one that, I mean, they're all features like, um, but this is one that like basically, if you're not taking advantage of stories, then it's again just another missed opportunity.
Yeah. Stories is like their own category. Like
Yeah,
they're kind of on in their own league.
right, right. It's like it's bigger than just like audio and trending sounds. Like it's like
Yeah,
stories. This is a place where you need to live on Instagram.
you gotta do it.
Um, yeah, because at this point, so many people just go straight to stories, and that's where they get their updates. They don't necessarily scroll through on their feed, but
Yeah.
stories is just where everyone puts like the most relevant, most up to date information, and so
Or
you want to be
sorry to
there.
sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
sometimes people are scrolling through their feed still, and your content still isn't going to come up because Instagram tends to favors like ads, and they'll
Hmm.
suggest new content. They don't post it in chronological order anymore. It's been years since they've done that. So even if
Yeah.
you're posting things, that's not a guarantee that your audience is going to see it, which is so unfortunate.
Right. Right. That's yeah, a very good point. Um, and it's like a way for you to really build a connection with your audience, particularly if that's going to be your only touch point, which is
Yeah.
super likely, just because the algorithm is changing so much and they're testing so many things, it's really hard to guarantee that your post will be seen. So, I mean, ideally, I mean, I think it kind of depends, but I think doing like around 5 stories a week, maybe 5 to 7 stories, is really great way to boost the engagement on your account. But even just anything more than one story a week, I think is going to be great,
Yeah.
and just help boost that interaction and engagement and relevance.
Yeah.
Um, and as we say, here are more features, but like using the features that are available on stories, like using those stickers, using the polls or the sliders or questions or links, all of that is going to help boost boost your visibility because Instagram, they want you to be using what they're giving you.
Yeah. Totally. And we always tell our clients, 'cause clients will always say, how many stories? How many should I do? It's like as many as you're comfortable with. And it is hard because you kind of feel like you have, your content plan, and now you
Hmm.
need another plan for your stories. It's like two sets of content kind of, but within one app.
Right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's totally hard. It's totally overwhelming. I get it. But like TK said, sometimes it's the only touch point that you have with your audience in a day.
Hmm.
And so you got to show up there. You just
Yeah.
have to. And a story, the good thing about stories is you don't have to be super, edited or like you can kind of just post stuff on the fly. And that's what stories are for. They're to be like more raw and real and show people kind of an inside scoop almost to your business or, your industry. Um, so I would say please do it and don't overthink it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely great advice. Don't overthink it. So much of this is it's easy to overthink. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the last kind of touch point, getting started, bare bones, what should you know about your Instagram account? We're going to start with captions because everything that you post needs a caption, and your captions are actually pretty important. Um, I'm just kind of laughing, remembering the days when we'd be like, hashtag throwback Thursday to my hashtag, summer vacation and hashtag Malibu. Like,
Hmm.
do you remember those days when we
Yeah.
would used to
Yeah.
do captions like that?
Like hashtags were just like a part of our conversation, but like not
Yes,
even in a relevant way. Yeah.
right. Well, they're a lot different than that now.
Hmm. Yeah.
I would not recommend using hashtags like that. So when we're talking about captions in general, but this includes hashtags, what I want you to know about captions is again, SEO is king. So what you want to put in your caption are keywords to help the algorithm know what your video is about. And it's funny because I've actually seen creators like, you know how people will put like a chunk of hashtags underneath their like main
Hmm.
text in their caption? I've actually seen
Yeah.
creators just do like chunks of words, like keywords without the hashtag symbol in front because I think they read somewhere, oh, keywords, keywords.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would necessarily recommend doing that,
Right.
but um, I would recommend doing like a thoughtful caption. Doesn't have to be super long,
Hmm.
but just kind of helping, giving some context, and again, saying a few things that your video is about. So that way, the algorithm is further given information to help categorize what the video is, and then it can give it to the right people.
Yeah.
So I know that that is so much.
Right.
Um, but I feel like the key takeaway out of all of that is give give Instagram as much information as you can
Hmm.
because it's all about SEO, it's all about search optimization and people searching things. And so no matter if it's, in the features or in the captions or, all of that, just remember to give it as much information as possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, TK?
100%. I feel like it's basically just you're just you just want to give Instagram clues to who you are so then they know what to do with your content. And that's
Hopefully. Hopefully.
really all I know, hopefully. But that's like really all it comes down to is just every opportunity that you have to make it clear who you are, make it clear who you are with using, especially using search engine optimization. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a great point. Um, do you have an account that you think is like a really good example of doing all of these things?
Yeah, so the account that I love that I feel like if you're like, man, what does like a good Instagram account look like? I love the Crumbl account, and I'm not really even like a Crumbl cookie huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think they're overrated a little bit, but
I
they do.
agree.
Oh, you agree?
I agree. I mean, I used to like manage over there. I know. I agree. I hate too many of them. But yeah.
But they do a great job with their social media. And why I say this
Yeah.
is they make cookies exciting and number one, they do all the things that we've talked about, right? They do a great job utilizing all the features, optimizing stuff, keywords, things like that. But what I really like about them is that they give you a reason to follow the account. And why I say that is because a lot of brands think that they're putting out good content and maybe they are, but you have to really think like is someone that is, going to be my customer or something like that, do they have a reason to actually want to follow my account? Like what reason am I giving them? And for Crumbl, they totally are giving you a reason because they are every week launching new cookies and you have to follow their Instagram account to like stay up to date on what those are. So they've
Yeah.
done a really good job of tying their social media into their marketing strategy rather than just having their social media be like another entity, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. 100%. Like there is nowhere else to go to find that information. That is where it drops, and they do a really good job of staying relevant because of
Yes, they
that.
do. Hmm.
Yeah. Another one I thought of, which is maybe like a little bit more niche because it's like literally a regional thing, but it's called Your DC Bestie. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you haven't, you should go follow them, but or follow her. But this girl started this account just like a few years ago. It might have even been during COVID, and it's like boomed into like over 200,000 followers. That she basically, I mean, her bio is super clear, um, and on every one of her posts, she basically just puts out a list of like things to do in DC, this date to this date. And every week she posts something new,
Oh, sorry, I'm just looking her up and yeah, I've seen her before.
but every week she posts a video that's like things to do in DC from April 13th to April 19th. And she'll just like go through all these different things day by day. And every week she posts new content, so you know what to expect. It's a very regular thing. And then during the week, like she'll still post other information relevant to um, people in the area. And like I think it's I think it's kind of similar to the Crumbl thing, where every week you know exactly what you're gonna get.
There are a lot of great Instagram accounts out there that, are doing a lot of things right. And we understand Instagram can be so overwhelming. It can be really hard to know what to do. We feel that sometimes as social media managers, but if you can just go back to the basics and kind of get these things down first, that's going to put you leaps and bounds ahead as if you were to just kind of start from zero. So I hope that was helpful. If you guys ever want us to go more in depth on more Instagram stuff, we are happy to do so because, like we said, there's just endless amounts of
There's so much,
information that we could give
right?
you.
But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Nice little five basics. So yeah,
Yes. Thanks, everyone,
perfect.
and we'll see you next time on the Untamed Social Media Podcast.
All right, we'll see ya.
Bye.